of the questions that I get asked, probably more than anything else, is would I call myself a chick lit writer? I would, quite happy with the term, don't have a problem with it at all. The problem that I have with it is when it's used in the media and by reviewers and people who think that they have a superior taste in books. It's used as a bit of a derogatory term. That's what I don't like. So it's the connotation of the word rather than actually the word itself. Also, I think writers don't like it because we didn't come up with it. There's one thing when you get into publishing that no one ever tells you about, and that's that, you know, you're going to get labelled, and then people think that's all you write. And it isn't, and I know that I've spoken to crime novelists who have the same thing. I've spoken to people who write more sort of relational dramas, and they get the same thing, that if they then wanted to write something that was quite fun and frothy and romantic, that people wouldn't take them seriously, or it wouldn't have merit or whatever. And that's, I think, what writers get most annoyed about, because at the end of the day, we've poured our heart and soul into writing these books. We don't just sit down and, you know, scribble one on the back of a napkin over coffee. It's 10 months to a year of our lives that we've poured into making this story the best possible story that we can, and we take pride in it. And like anything you take pride in, I think, you know, you want to be recognised for what you do. Would I call myself a chick lit writer? Yeah, quite happy to call myself that, but I also say that I write romantic comedy because for me that sums up more what I'm writing. It's not a term that's been kind of coined by somebody in the media because they want to talk about, you know, Bridget Jones or something. So I don't have a problem with it, but I think that's why a lot of writers feel they have to go on the offensive with it and feel that we have to defend it. We spend an awful lot of time defending our novels, defending what we write, defending why we write it, defending the industry that we're in, when really all we want to do is write cracking stories that you'll love. So I think that's probably my stance on it. And why do people have a go at chick lit? Because it's popular and it sells. And end of. And people have a go at crime fiction because it sells. People have a go at, you know, Dan Brown and J.K. Rowling because they've sold lots of books. I just think that it shows that a lot of people like the books, and I don't think there's a problem with it. And I think, you know, in the same way as we have readers who wouldn't ever dream of picking up a chick lit novel or a crime novel, or, you know, something that's classed as commercial, there are a lot of readers who love just grabbing a book and getting lost in it, and if it's your thing, that's amazing. And I just think as writers we're always going to defend what we do because we're so used to being on the defensive with it, but it's only because we're proud of what we do. So that's kind of my stance on it, for what it's worth, and there we go.